Was 2021 better than 2020? Will any guests from the past make a return appearance? And who was the best guest of 2021? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McRanus, and I just thought today would be a great day for another best of episode. That's right, we're going to look back at some of the best episodes that involved all the guests of last year, that was 2021. It has already felt like more than 5 months have passed since 2021. It does feel like a long time ago since we're really getting back. We're really going into summer now. I mean, according to this, it's like 92 degrees currently outside, which is really hot. If you don't know what that kind of weather feels like, it is quite warm. But today we're just going to look back at a couple guest episodes from last year. Of course, you should be listening to all the episodes that involve myself, and all the episodes that involve me with various guests. So if you ever want to go back and listen to the episodes that involve these guests that we're about to highlight on this episode today, just go ahead and do it. You know, I don't have it all linked in the description of this, but you should just go ahead and scroll through. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify podcasts, you should definitely just scroll back and look through the different episodes. I'm going to give you the name or the number of the episode and the date along with the guest who was on there as well. So let's go ahead and get down to it. First up is from episode 58, and this was on February 13th, 2021, and it involved with the mayor of my hometown, which is, of course, Rayville. It is Mayor Harry Lewis, and we talked about what it was like when he first became mayor and what is his favorite part of being the mayor. What did it feel like whenever they said, you're elected as the new mayor? Did you ever have that moment of like did you lay in your bed at night and be like, oh man, I'm the next mayor of Rayville? Like, did you ever have that kind of moment?
But I did when the bankers told me, why do you want this job? Y'all don't have no money. I said, now wait a minute, this is a banker. I said, well, hey, I'm glad you're wanting this, but I'm trying to figure out why you want this job. Y'all don't have no money. What? I came in my office. We had a $50,000. Never will forget it. We had bought 5 trucks. I guess they was paying for them on quarters.
Yeah.
Came in here, had a $50,000 bill on his desk, and they had $38,000 in it. I said, oh, God, now I see why he said that. But, you know, we just rolled up our sleeves and got to work. We didn't blame anyone for the condition we were in, and we just knew that if we wanted to grow, and we just had to roll up our sleeves and get after it, and that's what we've done.
Yeah. And so far, in your about 20 years of being mayor, what has been your favorite part that you think of being mayor?
Just the PR. I always liked public relations. I enjoy meeting folks. And, you know, folks, the previous meal, they always park their car on the back, and this. They were shocked when I was parking my car and everything in front. They said, well, you park? I said, yeah, why would I try to hide from you all? So I had no problem talking to the citizens because they put me up here.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I work for you all. Y'all don't want to hide me.
Yeah.
So I ain't no use me going any other way, but I've enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed seeing them come along with me.
Yeah.
You know, seeing they can see the growth. I always tell them, my body of work speaks for itself. You can see what has happened in Rayville under my administration.
Yeah. Great talking with Mayor Harry Lewis. That was actually the first time I've ever had a conversation with my mayor. He's still currently the mayor as of right now. I don't know if there's an election coming up or not. They don't really tell me if there's any kind of election until like a week before. Like, you going to go early vote? And I'm like, for what? Because I don't really know I don't keep up with I don't keep up with national politics at all, really, and I don't really keep up with local politics either. But with all that being said, next episode we have is actually from episode 80, going to July 17th. It is with the VCOM Assistant Dean, Dr. Randy Aldrett, and we talked about what it's been like for him to work at this new VCOM medical school located in Monroe, Louisiana. And so, being here at VCOM in Monroe, how has it been so far working here?
You know, when my wife and I first started, we were in a little room that's about half the size of this. The two of us shared an office in Sandal for the first 9 months we were here, which was wild. And we like to say that was a lot of togetherness. It got to the point where we started driving to work separately. We were just together way too much, and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. And now that we're in the big building, and she's on the second floor in the other corner, I'm on the third floor in this corner. We see each other for lunch. We see each other when we get home, and it's kind of like it was before we moved to Monroe. We get just enough togetherness working together, and we get our togetherness at home.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Building's beautiful. I always tell everybody this place it's immaculate. It's a Taj Mahal. The fourth floor is like stepping on board Star Trek because the simulation lab is just I'm just starstruck when I walk in there. What we have to teach the kids. The anatomy lab's beautiful. The OMM lab is it doesn't lack for anything. Our patient encounter rooms it's like walking into a doctor's office up there. So these kids, when they step into round 2 of their boards, they're not surprised because it looks just like it does at home. And you know the old adage, you practice like you play like you practice,
yeah.
And that's how we want them. We want them to practice being in their board scenarios every single day they're here, whether it's the written test or their hands-on test. Yeah. And that way when they get to board days, whether it's the end of year 2 or the end of year 3 or the end of year 4, they're not surprised. They're not caught off guard. They're comfortable. They're in their element.
Yeah.
And I think that gives us an advantage, and that's why our board scores are the way they are at VCOM, why we're so successful, and why the residency placements are so successful is they get around our kids and they just realize, man, they are super sharp. They've got personality. They're from all over the country, and they're just, it's good results. This is by far. I'm just happy I have a window. I had like the little bitty narrow windows at Lafayette. No offense. I had a blast in Lafayette. Made some of the best friends of my life down there. In fact, we're going down there this weekend to see a friend 4th of July. And but little narrow windows at the top. I got a little peak of daylight. And I just try to make the room as mine as possible. This is.
You got the bayou right there.
I got the bayou. I mean, I can turn around and watch the water ski team jump right off my window here. Yeah, I don't lack for anything from a view or comfort standpoint. If I had my dogs up here with me at work, I'd probably never go home. Seriously, and honestly, we've tried looking into starting a pet therapy program, joint one with ULM, because you read a lot of the literature. There is a lot of good literature on the positive effects of dog therapy programs at universities and in medical schools. Oklahoma State being one of those, our Steph and I's alma mater for our doctorates. So, and I know I go off on a tangent with these questions, but we have it's just good. It's just good. Got some good new buddies in this place, and today, the day that we're doing this interview, is actually the start of my 3rd year. This is my work anniversary, July 1. I started July 1, 2019. So this is starting year 3 for me. And I'm on a 3-year contract, so we'll see what the rest of the year brings and see how much longer I get to stick around here. I'm hopeful and thankful for the opportunity, and I'm hopeful I get to continue moving forward here, which I don't have a doubt about it. It's just we got a lot of other things to deal with, and eventually we'll get around to getting that all taken care of.
Which, you're right about this building being like a Taj Mahal, because this is the first time I've ever been in it, because I go to ULM, but I'm more on ULM, the EULM. I take all my courses online, and being able to come in this building, because I've always was like, wow, that building's huge. And then I walked in it today, and I was like, wow, it's like having your car for a year and it still got the new car smell, and it's like, whoa. I'm like, this building is awesome.
You don't bump into as many people as you think, even though there's 100 employees and 150 students in the first class. Now, July 12th, when we add the next 162, we'll see how things change. And we're going to be adding more faculty, too. Now that we have a second class, we've got to add more faculty.
Yeah.
So this place will go from about 250 people on a given day in it to, probably by the end of the year, probably close to 400 or 450 in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it may get a little crowded then, but we got plenty of parking, great tailgating spots across the street, over by football. And it's, we're still a growth in progress, which is the amazing thing that, as much as we've done, there's still more to go. With COVID, we haven't been able to get out in the community and do as much outreach as we like. We want to be more visible. We want people to get comfortable with the logos and seeing us and knowing who we are. And there's still so much more to go. People think they see and know VCOM, but they haven't seen anything yet, honestly.
Yeah.
We still have so much more to go, and I'm so excited to see it.
And which I was like, wow, we're getting like a doctor school, to put it in terms, like we're getting a doctor school in Monroe, because I'm from here, so it's like I was like, we're getting one in Monroe,
The coolest thing about it is that when we'll walk out of the building at night, we'll be we're walking out 5:30, whatever, or even later some nights. And the number of kids that are doing their graduation photos around the building, on the staircase, on the bayou in front of the school, whatever, it's awesome. It's like immediately we became the number one tourist attraction on campus.
It's true.
And it's so cool. It's very flattering. It's a humbling responsibility. It also speaks to the fact we have a zero deferred maintenance policy with VCOM. If something breaks, it gets fixed immediately.
Yeah.
Mr. Rokovich, our chairman, and our president provost, Dr. Took Rollins, is their stance is this place was built beautiful and the grounds are beautiful and it's going to stay beautiful. Yeah. There's no litter, there's no broken bolts, there's no doors that won't shut. If there is, you let somebody know and it's fixed like that. And you love working for a place that appreciates what it has from a human resources standpoint, but also what it has from a physical resources standpoint.
Yeah. And like Dr. Aldrich said, I also agree that the building that VCOM has is really nice. I've, of course, been in there to interview with him. That was the only time I've been in that building, exactly. They keep it really locked tight. You can only enter if you're like a teacher or student or anybody who works there, because you have to like swipe a card or something. But the building itself, the outside, is really nice, and the inside is really nice too, and really clean, And if you ever want to go to a medical school to learn, you want to become a doctor and anything, I suggest the VCOM in Monroe, or one of the VCOMs, the other 3 that are currently located in any of the other states that are across this side of the U.S. Next episode we have is episode 86, excuse me. My brain's messing up today for some reason. We got episode 86 from August 28th. It is with the Louisiana Delta Chancellor, Randy Esters. And we talked about how he got this position of being the Chancellor and how it's been so far. And this position became available at that time. Were you you applied, correct? You didn't because whenever that comes up, I get a little bit confused because I'm not into I don't know the statistics of the higher education world,
Right.
I don't know if you were asked or you were like, hey, this is open. I'm going to put my name in the pot and see what happens. So that's basically what happened, is that you were like, you know what, I'm going to apply for it. That's basically what happened.
Yes. This was the weirdest thing, that I think I've ever. When things are meant to work out, they work out. Sometimes it's a bumpy road to get there.
Yeah.
So what happened is when it came open the first time, I applied.
Yeah.
And went through the interview and was, a top candidate, obviously, and then Dr. Rule was selected.
Yeah.
Well, he stayed such a short time that there was really no reason to reopen it, so they just looked to the pool that they had before, because if they would open again, they'd have got the same candidates. spend all that money to do the whole search over.
It'd still be going on
and
now.
it would still be going on, and they would be looking at the exact same people that they had just done.
Yeah.
So basically, they said, "Hey, let's go back to the pool that we had before, and let's revisit those candidates and see if anybody makes the cut and would be a good fit for Delta." So, hey, it's not always bad being the number two. Sometimes it works out.
You ended up making it. So.
I made it.
And so, with all that, how has it been so far being here at Delta?
It's been a challenge because Delta is a lot bigger than than the college I came from.
Yeah.
The college I came from had about 1,500, depending on the semester students.
Yeah.
We have about close to 5,000. We got 4,500, 5,000 just for credit students. But then when you add adult ed workforce, we're closer to maybe 15,000.
Yeah.
So I had 2 campuses in Arkansas. I've got 8 here.
Yeah.
So just the scaling up of the thought process and all of the all the things to do it's been a challenge. It's just a learning curve on my part. And then there's the LCTCS, which is the parent organization. They have a different way of doing things. I answer directly to a board in Arkansas, so that's where my CEO training came in, was answering to a board. Well, here I answer to a president who answers to a board. Yeah. So it's been a challenge, but it's been great. We've made some good things happen. There's a lot of exciting things going on. We're getting some new equipment in. We're getting buildings built. So in a short time, we've had a ball.
Yeah, in less than 100 days already.
Yeah. We need to count how many days it's been, because I figure if I can stay 91 days, I'm in good shape.
If you can't tell from the way we talked, Randy Esters is also a Louisiana native, like I am. And if you aren't recognizable to the southern accent, it probably sounds like an entirely different language to some people, especially like if you've never heard it and you're from another country or you're from way up north in the United States. It probably sounds very different than what you may be accustomed to, but always a great time to talk with Chancellor Esters and maybe talk to him again in the future. Next up is episode 88, and it is from September 11th with multi-time guest John Wright. And here we talked about the new additions to the Sonic menu, the limited time items that were at that time, and we talked a little bit about everything and about food. Food. Mm-hmm. Now I'm actually going to Google this, that way I actually get it correct. Sonic Drive-In, my favorite place, of course, has these new slushes that are new. Mm-hmm. Well, correct. That's what that means. Yeah. I don't know. They're supposed to be like wine flavored for some reason. I don't know.
Is it like a cooler or is it a wine? It's like, have like a rosé, Chardonnay wine.
I can actually just look on the app. Well, one of them. Okay, let's see here.
I'm barely 21. I don't know anything.
They have
alcohol.
They have peach Bellini slush, strawberry frosé slush, and then a red berry sangria.
Okay.
And none of them have alcohol, of course.
I don't know if I would try any of those, but if I did have some alcohol to put into them,
it'd probably be pretty good. Honestly.
I might do that
because I just used the flavoring, like peach Bellini slush flavor, and then they just put the slush into it, the ice part.
That target audience might be college students and middle-aged women. To be honest.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do believe that. And, I haven't had them yet. I saw them because I had Sonic for lunch today, believe it or not.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the chicken basket, You
can't.
And I had it, and I saw it, and it'll come across the screen. It shows you, making them in the back and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, No, and then because there was like the peach one is just the peach flavor and the slush, and the other two, the sangria and the frosé, have real strawberry fruit in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can actually like look at it and see it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't gonna try them. Yeah, I mean, I might, you know, like I like strawberry flavored stuff. I'm not a big peach guy.
Yeah.
But like strawberry, and I don't know what sangria tastes like, but it might be good.
You know, have you ever seen the like the big jugs it's like glass jugs that are filled with wine? They're like, you know, a good foot and a half large. Yeah. Those are normally sangria, and it's a college girl drink.
I've heard,
if I've ever seen one. That and White Claws. I never enjoyed it for sure, but I don't like wine, so
yeah. I honestly don't think I've ever tried wine. Like, I've had, to speak about alcohol, like, I've tried alcohol in here.
Yeah.
As soon as I was, like, 21, I did back in March. I tried the Mike's Harder lemonade. I did 5 different flavors, and it was a little bit of an act afterwards, of course, because I tried to put on a normal episode after trying 5 different flavors, and
now,
that was.
Did you just try them, or did you?
I drank half of each one of them.
Okay.
So basically, out of 5, I drank 2.5 cans.
Now, what you should have done, you drink half of each one, and then you pour all of it into one, and then you drink that and give your review on that.
Now, what do I rate this combination of like green apple, lemonade? Like, I mean, they were good, but it's weird how it does it to you.
Yeah.
Where it's like the more you drink, the better it tastes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like because to me personally, I'm not an alcohol flavor guy.
Yeah.
The alcoholic part of it is not like I need something that has more. The flavor has to overpower the alcohol itself because I'm like, oh, no, this ain't good, you know.
Exactly.
But it's like I was trying after I got to like the 5th one, I was like, I could taste the cranberry in this one, the green apple, you know, and I was like, man, this is just like a juice or something, you know.
And they say it's an acquired taste, and I
feel like
acquired
one.
Well,
it's like each different version of alcohol is its own acquired thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I also have tried moonshine on this, and that was god awful.
It is
because that's like that. Your car can run off of that. I think.
You need to try some of those flavored moonshines. I think they have it. I went to a place in Missouri. Speaking of which, I just went on another trip. But I went to this place in Missouri that they had like 10 different flavored moonshines. I think one of them was like pickle juice moonshine.
Oh.
One of them was cherry moonshine. With it has like those cherries that you'd put on ice cream.
Like
Maraschino or something like that.
Yeah, and then you can like tie the knot in your mouth.
Yeah,
with that. Yeah.
Had those full in the jar of moonshine.
So it was like soaking.
Yeah, so you eat those. You could eat like 3 and get drunk.
Moonshine
because the sugar absorbs all the alcohol. But they had coffee moonshine, which I don't know if I would dare mess with that.
Good Lord.
They had some really interesting flavors. But you should do a sampler of some moonshine. You might not be able to.
The only thing is that I would have to be like, all right, this is the last flavor. All right, good night, everyone. I have to end it at that. Yeah. So it's like, because afterwards, I remember, let's just say I don't remember half the things I said afterwards. And that was like back in March. And like you can listen to it. I think it was like episode 61 or something. And that's the only episode so far where I've done a full episode. Because I will do another one for all of those listening to. Before the year ends, I'll do another one whole episode of just me reviewing drinks.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to pick alcohol because there's so many different flavors of like I did with Mike's Harder.
Yeah.
Or you can pick like, what has a bunch of flavors?
There's a bunch of those.
I mean, those
coolers. You got Mike's. You got
those.
Bud Light.
Bud Light seltzers. Yeah.
There's
and I can always try like normal Mike's Hard.
Truly's. I prefer Truly's because they're low carb. And there's like...
Oh, the flavor's good?
Well, so you've got a couple... like they've got boxes of like particular flavors. You got Truly Teas, and you've got like Truly Lemonades, like Truly Tropical. There's a couple of those. I prefer the lemonades and the teas. The lemonades are good cold, and the teas I can drink them hot. They're like they don't even taste like alcohol.
Yeah.
It just tastes like you're drinking a flavored tea.
Is it like it's not like sweet tea, but is it more like green tea or?
It's like a peach tea or I think they have like a lemon tea, something like that. But I took those to the beach with me, and I just didn't feel like carrying around a cooler full of ice, and so I was drinking those like in the 80-degree lukewarm, almost hotter than that, in the ocean. And it was absolutely wonderful. Yeah. I mean, it just tasted like I was drinking tea. Yeah. Can't imagine how they taste with ice, but those are probably the best ones that I've had, especially with your like carb ratio. They're low carb, so they don't affect me.
Was that like for keto diet type stuff?
Well, diabetes.
Well, that too, of course.
But I mean,
it's like
keto,
if you do the keto, because I always knew the keto is like no carbs. I think.
Yeah.
So that's like your better option, of course, is Truly. I need to try Truly, I guess. But because with me, it's like I don't want to buy like a box of one flavor and not like it. You know,
a box you're gonna have like a flavor group, and then it's gonna be like 5 flavors in the box. So
is it 24 or?
I think there's 12 in most boxes.
Okay.
I want to say. I wouldn't recommend trying anything except for the lemonades and the teas. Because the tropicals and the original flavors are just like
they're
It's almost tastes like drinking static, mixed with a little bit of alcohol, and it's not great. But I mean, there's plenty of others like Seagrams. Those are pretty sweet, but there's not a lot of alcohol in them. You can't taste the alcohol, so you're just like you're drinking fruit juice, really.
Yeah.
Maybe after 10, you might feel a little buzz. There's a bunch of seltzers.
Those are those little like 4 or 5%ers out there. Yeah.
A Red's Apple Ale is a good.
I've tried it.
It's pretty good.
Because what I've done and what I just have to do is just I have to go and just look around at a gas station.
Yeah.
To get singles of each flavor.
You should go to Brookshire's.
Okay.
So, not all Brookshire's, but like the bigger Brookshire's. And Super Ones, they'll have like a pretty large selection. I like to go to the Brookshire's, like North 18th.
Past ULM.
Yeah,
is that one.
It's
closer to the bowling alley, or before you get there. It's on the right
on 165.
Yeah, that's what
you could go there.
Like the one north, you know.
That one's on 165 though, but the one that's next to some Small Cakes, so it's like right.
Yeah, that's literally like. Turn left and you look down the lane there and you're there. Yeah, I got you.
That is really I
don't think I've ever been in that one.
They have like 4 aisles of alcohol, and you could just stay for hours.
I need to go to Brookshire's.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so Sonic's trying to do that now. They're trying to capture because we're in this time. You know, this is the time everybody's getting back into college. You're starting soon. I've already started back. And it's like, let's get these freshmen. You know, that's all it is basically. So with all of that, speaking of a little bit about more Sonic, they've had many different limited edition items on the menu. In the past many years that we've known of Sonic Drive-In, and each month is always a different thing usually. Like right now are those wine slushes. And they also usually do, it's either like a blast or a drink, and then it's a food item. And this month is the grilled cheese burger, which is a grilled cheese, of course, but instead you can get a hamburger patty, onions, and ketchup and mustard in it. But of course you can
might end up going there.
You can get a double of it too.
Oh wow!
And what I did is that I'm not big on like ketchup and mustard on there. What I did is just, of course, go on the app, remove that, and add bacon. It's a melt. Big old patty, a fast food Sonic patty melt.
I think you've got me sold on that.
I've already had one. I think I had one last week because I love a good patty melt. Like Whataburger's the best fast food patty melt I've ever had, and a Waffle House is like top of the line. Like it's a top tier patty melt for me. And I think I've had like a homemade one, and it's pretty good, you know. But you can't capture Waffle House grease. Like it's so like people like you can walk in and just
it's that bacon grease.
It just hits you right in the face, and you're like, oh, and then you eat it, and you're like, man, this is amazing, you know. But the Sonic one is good. But to ask you, because I think I have an answer to this, I think. What, in the past couple years, would you say it is the most memorable to you or your number one most favorite limited edition item from Sonic?
I think it's probably my favorite and most memorable because I don't remember a single other one.
They had pickle slush.
I forgot it until now.
Yeah.
But the pretzel dog, with like the pretzel dough bun, that was like something else for me. I don't know why, but I just love it. I love pretzels. Like, go to Auntie Anne's, and I'm just all for it. I think I dated a girl who worked at Auntie Anne's once, and she'd give me like their leftover pretzels. Golly, I gained 40 pounds in that relationship. Oh, it was so good. But those pretzel dogs, I really enjoyed.
So you're like a big pretzel bun guy, like even like a hamburger pretzel bun type deal?
You know, for hamburgers, I'm a little bit different. I like a jalapeno bun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever like had a genuine pretzel bun on a hamburger though.
I think
I'd be down to try it.
The ones who always do it the most to me are Wendy's. It's usually like they had the pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger, which was like monster cheese, and like they had like beer cheese, and it was like, you know, it's the pretzel bun with like the cut line down the middle, and onion strings, all that kind of stuff. The chicken sandwich is better. No offense to Wendy's, but their chicken is way more better than their burgers, in my opinion. Like, I would much rather have a great chicken sandwich than a great hamburger, you know, because like a chicken sandwich to me, it can go above and beyond, you know. That's just me, you know.
Obviously, it depends on your seasonings, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can season chicken better than you can beef, like ground beef, and it still hold its like integrity. Like that spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, every day I think about that.
It's still like it was a total game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, it
the
was
lines
total.
out to the road. Oh
like,
my gosh.
Like it's every day. It's literally every day that I go through town. Either if I'm going there or if I'm just passing, it's all the way out to the road.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what mine would be. I mean, I remember those times they had those like ice cream blast cores.
Yeah.
I remember those. They had a cake batter slush before. Not a slush. A blast. The slush would be nasty.
Yeah.
But the blast. I remember not much food items. I remember the chicken slingers, the little ones. They used to be limited, but they made that an actual menu item.
The cookie dough blast used to be limited.
And it's like it's a full-time thing now.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and getting those, and it'd be on for maybe like a year, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, we don't serve those anymore." When I'd come back for them, I'd be like, "What?" It's literally the best ice cream you have. I don't know what you put in that cookie dough, but it's crack.
Yeah, yeah, like it's real cookie dough.
Yeah, I used to love getting those, and then I found out it wasn't like a normal thing they had, and now they have it all the time.
Yeah, it's literally it's on the app, it's on the full time menu.
Which I love that. I'll get those when I'm feeling a little saucy late at night.
Get that with the grilled cheeseburger.
I'm thinking about it.
So, because
might have to cut this podcast short.
So welcome back. We're back from Sonic. Because what was I going to say? Oh, I remember the time we went to Sonic and you got a Route 44 strawberry shake,
which
they
didn't let me.
Which that was a struggle. I will tell you that. But
oh gosh.
Which, I don't know why they don't do that. People would be sold if you could get a Route 44 blast or something, you know.
I did get diabetes shortly after that.
Yes.
It could have been.
It was a sign.
It could have been a contributing factor.
Apparently so.
We went to the trampoline park that day, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was towards altitude. And then we went afterwards, and you were like, I'm about to die. Give me a Route 44 strawberry shake. And I ordered, and they were like, what? And I said, a Route 44 strawberry shake. And they were like, let me get the manager. And she come on there and was like, we'll charge you for a large and a small is what it was.
Yeah.
And then you just like hollered out, "That's okay." And they brought it out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And you're like, "I'm about to eat all it."
I had a feeling that I was the first person to ask for that.
Probably so.
First person to be out of my mind.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised nobody else has. Like, I would totally get like a Route 44 blast.
Yeah.
Like, I probably wouldn't eat it all in one sitting,
The amount of
honestly.
calories and carbs in that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Because my
insane.
favorite's the M&M from Sonic. Like, it's top tier blast, of course. But so, with that being all of that said, talking a little bit more about food, what would you say? I actually heard this question like a couple days ago. What would you say, out of all the restaurants and places you've eaten at, what would be your favorite appetizer? Like, whenever you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu and you look out under the appetizers, what is like that one thing that would stand out to you where you're like, man, I could go for this? Like, for me, I love mozzarella sticks, of course. And there's some places that have like that light breading on them, you know, and it's like you can get either marinara or ranch or whatever you prefer. And then there's like always good, which I just thought about it, which honestly, like Olive Garden breadsticks, they're not really an appetizer. They're like how Texas Roadhouse is with rolls and how Red Lobster biscuits are.
Yeah.
Like, that's just your bread, if you will.
I don't know what tier that would be on, but it's something.
Well, it's also like your
altogether.
chip and dip at Mexican restaurants.
Or like Chili's.
Yeah.
Always a great time to talk with John, and he'll definitely be back on in the future, of course. And we talked about food more in that episode later after the end that was cut just now. So you should definitely just go back and check out that episode. And all these episodes are really good, in my opinion. And that's like not just coming from me being the host and the producer and everything of this podcast, just me being like as a fan perspective, they're really good episodes. So the next episode we have here is from episode 96 from November the 6th, and is with the mayor of Ruston, Louisiana, Mayor Ronnie Walker, and we talked about what it was like when he was elected as the mayor of Ruston.
We're like, it came out and said, all right, you're elected as mayor of Ruston. How long after that point would you say that it happened, that you were like out one day or walking around in your office here, or when was that moment when you were like, man, I'm the mayor? Like, when would you say you had that first moment?
Well, probably when I realized I had won, that night. It was probably like, that dog that finally caught that car. In fact, a friend of mine said that to me. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? Because I had never been mayor.
Yeah.
I had no experience. In fact, I had a man come up to me the other day and said, I really was worried about you being mayor because I just, didn't know if you could do the job. And I said, hey, and his wife went, I can't believe you're telling him that. And I said, hey, I'm glad he's saying it because, I was an unknown commodity. I had not been a mayor, so there was no track record. I think it really hit home more so, though, once I got into this chair and started meeting with department heads and started seeing how much infrastructure work we needed to do and how much it was going to cost, and the fact that there was not that much money anywhere in the city budget to do it. And that's when it really hit home that, oh my gosh, we've got, we need to do $150, $200 million worth of work, and we cannot do that without some kind of sales tax, which I hated to ask the people for. But that's when people ask me, and I ask this question all the time: how in the world is Ruston, Louisiana, a town of 23,000, able to do as much work infrastructure-wise and building-wise within your city? And I always tell them it's because of the people of Ruston had the foresight to pass that tax, which allowed us in the last 6 years to do $150 million worth of work, where if that tax had not passed, we would have done maybe $10 million.
Yeah.
So that's allowed us to do a lot of things. So when people ask me, what's it like being the mayor? I said, with a city like Ruston, a city full of citizens who understood the vision and voted to tax themselves so they could become a better city, it's really easy.
Which, as people, we all don't like to pay taxes, but
I totally agree. I don't either.
It makes sense when you think about it. Like, we got to make the city or any town better, and the only way is with the people paying taxes, because that's their percentage going towards that.
It's like one of the CEOs of one of our local banks said in one of our town hall meetings. He said, "Folks, you can't have good stuff unless you have money to pay for it.
Yeah.
You can't remodel your house unless you got money to pay for it. And we have basically remodeled this city, but we had to go to the people. And I think when people look back at it now, I've had a lot of people say that. I didn't want that tax, but now I see all the good things that have happened because of it. And it really makes you proud of your city, the fact that they voted 70% to 30% to do that. And what makes me even more prouder of it, is the fact that we didn't know this, but a week before we had our sales tax vote, the state increased the sales tax by 1 cent.
Yeah.
But yet the people of Ruston didn't say, "Oh no, they just raised our sales tax and now we're fixing to vote another one in." They saw the need and voted for it. And a lot of that work has been south of the interstate, south of Highway 80, in the southern part of our city.
Yeah.
And you look at southern cities, we're no different than any other southern city. We have neglected a portion of our city over the years, decades, and we're trying to change that and do work in areas that have been neglected. And it's really, I spoke to the American Legion group Tuesday night, and I said, it is my honor to be the mayor, the quarterback of this team, whatever you're going to call it, because we have such great citizens who take pride in their city. And I think that's the big difference between Ruston, Louisiana, and other cities across Louisiana and across the nation. Our people take pride in their city. They want to see good things be done and built in our city. So it's just a great opportunity for me.
Yeah. Great episode with Mayor Walker and with all of these former guests that have been on. And hopefully some of these guests or all of these guests might be on in the future, and you'll definitely have to make sure you tuned in to check out those. But thank you to all of these guests and every guest that's ever been on. Couldn't have gotten here without you. And thank all of you for listening, and I think that's going to do it for this best of episode. Hope you've all enjoyed it, and there will definitely be more coming in the future. Probably more towards the end of the year will be another best of episode. So, as always, please rate and subscribe, and if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at @_Toddcast_. That's only on Instagram, of course. Make sure you tell your friends and your family to give it a listen, and thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, we're just going to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.